My name is Alex, and to be honest, I've never been a particularly disciplined person. At school, I always dragged to the last. At the university, he crammed before exams. At my first job, I was always late and did everything back to a clong. But at the same time, I always dreamed of becoming the best version of myself. The problem was that I was waiting for inspiration, and for some reason, it didn't come. Once I watched an interview with an entrepreneur. He said a phrase that seemed to crash into my brain. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. I don't know why, but at that moment I decided, enough. I'll conduct an experiment. 1 month, maximum discipline. I set the alarm for 5:30 a.m. every morning, training, then work on projects. No social networks in bed, no 5 more minutes. Just me and my schedule. The first days were terrible. Seriously, I hated every morning. I wanted to go to hell. But he didn't quit, just because I promised myself. On the 10th day, I woke up by myself a minute before the alarm clock. At the 15th, he began to get high from the morning silence. It turned out that the morning is a superpower. By the time most of them just woke up, I already had so much time that I was surprised myself. And on the 30th day, I understood the main thing. Inspiration does not come before the action, but during it. 6 months later, I launched my project, became in the best physical shape in my life, and felt the kind of confidence that I used to read about in books. People asked, "Alex, how do you manage everything?" And I just got up at 5:30 every day, even when I didn't want to. My name is Daniel, and a few years ago I worked in an office. Ordinary work, deadlines, reports, a bunch of letters. I didn't hate my job, but it didn't inspire me. Every day seemed the same, and I thought, when there is a cool chance, then I will give my best. Then I'll show myself. But this chance still didn't come. Until one day our manager quit, just left without warning, and his tasks were temporarily shifted to me. It was hell. No one told me. No one held my hand. Everything is on me. I could calmly go with the flow, pretend that I'm trying. But suddenly I caught myself thinking, if I don't do my best now, no one will know what I'm capable of, even myself. From that day on, I started working differently, not for a tick, and as if it's my own business. I came before everyone else. I was looking for a solution myself. I didn't wait for instructions. I started keeping notes, offering ideas, even organizing a system that simplified the work of the whole team. Do you know what happened next? A month is silence. 2 months is zero. The director called me to the office for the 3rd month. He said, "We were watching you. You deserve more." I was promoted. The salary has almost doubled. And most importantly, I was referred to as a person who can decide. My name is Michael, and I'm a designer. I used to consider myself a creative person. He liked to draw, create concepts, play with ideas, but there was one problem. I worked only when I felt inspired. Sometimes I sat at night, captured by the idea, and sometimes I couldn't do anything for weeks. I just procrastinated and waited for the muse to come. Spoiler, she came less and less. At some point, I saw an interview with an artist who created one illustration every day, regardless of inspiration, condition, or weather. He said, "If you want to be a professional, you can't wait for inspiration. You have to be there when it comes." This phrase turned me upside down. I set a goal, 1 job a day, no excuses. Sometimes it was horror, sometimes it was a masterpiece. But I did, every day, even when I was tired, even when I didn't like anything. After 30 days, I saw him grow up. After 60, orders began to arrive. In 90, an art director from a studio that I could only dream of before wrote to me. He said, "We see your work, and most importantly, we see your stability." My name is Chris. I wasn't born a genius. I had no connections, no rich parents, or any special talent. I was a normal guy at school, no worse, no better. I've often heard phrases like, "Well, it's not for us," "You'll never succeed," "Be realistic," and I probably would have believed it if I hadn't asked myself one simple question one day. What if everything is possible, just not right away? I didn't need a magic button. I decided to act, in small steps every day. I set a goal to completely change my life in a year, get up early, to learn, to work, develop a skill even when you can't see the progress. It was hard. Very much. I doubt it. I'm tired. Sometimes I wanted to quit everything. But every time I reminded myself, you've already started, keep going. In 3 months, the first tiny victories. In 6 months, real growth. A year later, I looked at myself in the mirror and didn't recognize myself. I became the person I was once afraid to even dream of becoming. Now I lead my projects, I help others, and when someone says it's impossible, I just smile, because I know it's possible. I am living proof. I'm not an entrepreneur, not a superhero or a motivational coach. I'm an ordinary person. I work, cook, wash the dishes, pick up clothes from the dry cleaners. A year ago, I began to notice that every day of mine is like a copy of the previous one. I wake up, barely. Breakfast on the go, work is a must. In the evening, YouTube, phone, a little whining that I don't have time for anything. I go to bed with the feeling that I didn't do anything. And one day I looked at myself in the mirror and thought, do you really want to live the next 10 years? It wasn't an inspiration. It was an aversion to one's own inaction. I didn't ruin my life. I just started with a simple one. Make the bed every morning. Plan the day from the evening. To cook food at home, not to order. Devote 30 minutes a day to something that develops me. A book, a course, English. Save money, even if a little. Keep order, even if no one sees. A month has passed. Not everything has changed, but I have changed. I started to respect myself. Because I became a man who keeps his word in front of him. I became less tired because the chaos in my head began to disappear. I began to manage more, not because I had an extra hour, but because I stopped wasting it. Moral of all stories: discipline is not strict control and punishment. It's a choice. The choice of being a person who acts not when it is convenient, but when it is necessary. You don't have to be the most talented, the smartest, or the luckiest. But you can be the one who gets up early, takes a step forward, puts things in order, keeps his word every day. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if others believe in you. It's important that you believe in yourself enough not to give up, so as not to wait for inspiration, ideal conditions, other people's approval. Every time you choose a discipline, you choose your future. Small actions, habits, resistance. And then, after a while, you will turn back and understand. You didn't just live, you built it, alone.